clear method of setting your work up so that you can think clearly and you don't get into this business of being muddled with all the cobwebs in your brain. So, I work with about two of these at once, and I'm going to put my, hold on a minute, use that black a little bit there. You want to be sure that you tighten these so they don't get dry out and hard to get over. And of course, I'm not mixing my green because I'm lazy. Don't do this. Get my way off of there. I haven't opened these in a while. This one. Okay, let's look at the difference between the primary red and the spectrum red. On the surface, this looks like a good red, but if you look underneath, you see a little pink there.
Very hot.
It's spectrum red. It's a little better. No, yeah. It's a little better, but it's still a little orangey. So, oh man. Keeping your drawing clean is a challenge sometimes. And you may spill and you make mistakes, but if you get to it fast enough, you can fix it. Alright, so I'm going to use one of these brushes. I said I didn't clean it very well. You should always clean your brushes. The round brushes, these are called round brushes, as opposed to flat. I didn't bring any flat ones here. I think most of yours are round. Right? And when you finish up, you want to keep it wet and then twist it to a point so that you don't splay I'm sorry, thank you. So you don't splay see these are already splayed, but when I put it in the water, I might be able to control it. You also don't want to leave your brushes in the water. Never leave them in the water, not even for a minute. Because depending on how thick, how deep your container is, you start getting too much water up here in this part of the handle, and it rots it, and it falls off, the paint falls off, and then suddenly this comes apart, and it's a dead little cylinder. So you don't want to use that. Okay. Thank you. All right. So what are we doing first? Intensity, doing the intensity chart. So, let me show you one that kind of worked. This is all you're going to do. You're going to start with red. You're going to make a bucket of red, and then you're going to put a stroke down of the most intense of that red. Then you're going to gradually change the intensity of it by adding a little bit of green to it until you get to a neutral kind of brown. That's kind of where it takes you. Clean your brush. You do the same thing in reverse. You take the green and you add a little bit of red until you get up to here. So they should just kind of meet in the middle. And sometimes I do that pretty well, and sometimes I don't. So I'm going to use the spectrum red. And I'm making a bucket of paint over here. That's the bucket I'm going to change. I want it to be the same bucket so that every time I put a little bit of green in, it gets a little, changes just a little. You can change it by using the color, but you have to start kind of all over again when you've got to. I'll put a little water in it so that I can mix it. That's a big enough bucket that you. Okay. Now, I want to also, this is different from what I normally do. Normally I just go through and dig a little bit out of there, but that can contaminate. So I'm going to make another bucket over here of green. And you've got to clean your water supply often, because then you start mixing and then suddenly everything turns mud because you've got a big container of lots of colors together. So you mix all the colors together, what do you get? Black, neutral. Alright, so the first one is just a little bit of red. Okay. And the next one I'm just going to go in here. And I'm going to put a little bit of that green. Ooh, I did not too far too fast. Maybe not. Let's check it out. Probably could have been, it might could have been in between color. So just taking a little dot. Ooh, gone pretty far there, haven't we? Just take, if you say take the same dot, it'll probably be okay. And you might, do big swatches of these, and then you want about 7 variations of intensity changes, and then you can put it back together. It's getting really towards the brown, right? Black. Okay, see? Now I think I went too quickly. I think I could have a little more subtlety between these and some of these, but still I think that works really well. Alright, so clean your brush. We've already got our green thing. Alright, I think I want to put a little more green in it. I probably got some right there, but I don't have enough problem. I then have to start with a green, with a fresh bucket of red, right? Because what am I gonna do next?
Mix red into green.
How am I gonna do that?
Same way you did the other one.
Can you be more specific?
You're gonna take one dot of red at a time and mix it into the green.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with my green. I'll go over here since I got green here a little bit too bad. And I'm gonna start up here, right? And my beautiful green, and then, ooh. Oh, we're gonna mix it here, right?
Wait, what are you doing?
No, what did I do? I need to go there. It's fine, you tell me what to do. Alright. So I'm going to take this over to here, right? Everybody good? Yes. Alright. So, got my green. This one's going to go down a little slower, so I'm going to... This is going a little more subtle. Let's get to it, shall we? So you see what I'm doing? Going over here, contaminating that. But the goal is to get to here. And there it is, pretty close, right? Okay, any questions, anybody? Okay, the next one is the easiest one, but everybody gets it wrong. I'm hoping that you will change that record. So, listen up. I'm taking one color, and I'm going to take blue. You can take one of these colors. I got blue in here. And you don't want to do that to the mouth. It's gross. Cobalt blue is my favorite blues. So I'm going to take blue. So all I need is blue and a fresh bucket of water and black. So I'm going to kind of mix this black in here so I've got it not so lumpy, but a little water with it so it mixes better. Then I'm going to wing it. Alright, so I'm going to do the tint. Okay, so we've got the color here, and then we're going to go up to tint. We want to get to white, and I'm going to go down shade. We want to get to black. Tint, white, shade, black. So we're changing the value of a color, and in so doing, we're changing the intensity as well. So I'm going to make my little bucket over here. One bucket of blue. And I'll put it in the middle. Okay. Then I'm just going to use water. Probably better to mix it over here first. It would go faster if you mix it with paint, because I'm not changing it very rapidly enough. Now I'm never going to get white with this water, right? I'm going to have to get clean water. But I can also get a clean water.
Yeah, you just do that.
Okay, so it might be easier to do white. It's just that I love the transparency of just doing the water. And it can work. I mean, I did it there. But let's see about white would be a little easier. So we've got our bucket over there. And this is the easy part. When you start putting it on a costume, that's when it gets more complicated. Just like that. I need some clean water. Can somebody run and get 2 buckets of clean water, please?
Quickly.
So I can't mix these in these, can I?
So do we just do an intensity chart for 2 colors? For
Mhm.
red and green, we don't do it for.
All of them? If you were a really good student, you would. You'd do them for all of them. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Actually, you're a good student already because I've never had a student ask that question. Because I don't think they want to know the answer.
I don't know.
But it is a great exercise, you know, and in the best world, I would love for you to do this a little larger, but nice, neat little, you know, and you can do those. You can paint them on a section and paint them bigger, and then you cut them up, and you may have 15 different variations, but you put together the 7 that have the most even change to show it, so you organize it that way. And you know, you're going to be mixing and practicing getting the color by putting a lot of paint together on your projects. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is clean this. then I'm going to, so I don't get confused, which is easy to do, I'm going to put this over here. You know what what would be easier to do? It would be easier to go from the white to the blue, wouldn't it? To go from white. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start with this. Get rid of that. You could run them together.
Do you want us to use the water with the blue first and then
I
the
would
white?
do, I just go with the white. It's faster. Okay, so you see the lightness of those? Right, you see this, it's the tint, it's getting a little less so. And I'm gonna have to use a lot more blue to eventually get to this, but that's what you need to do. And when you're painting, you know, you're going to be, as I said, you're going to be doing the testing. Because, okay, how much white do I need to put to make that work? How much water do I need to put in here to make this work? How much dark? How much complementary color? And so you make your test over here. I think I showed you the test I did for that. Okay, this is going to take forever, but anyway. You get to it. Eventually you get down to here, okay? All right, now, the dark one will be easier. So you take the same color, blue, and then you're just gonna add a little black until you get it black. You've already got your blue, so let's go ahead and start with this side. And, you know, learning to do this, you might, you know, there's some, if you look at some of these drawings over here, some of the shadows look like they are black, but sometimes the best way of making the shadows by using the complementary color. There's a little bit of, I'll bring that one in here. Actually, they're more brown. This one's more brown. But if you have a really dark, you know, already a dark plaid, as we're going to see, and you're going to, see, I can't talk, let me shut up. You want a good read about teaching and learning someone to draw, teaching someone to draw, learning to draw. Read Betty Edwards' book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. All right, so then we've got we're down to black. You notice I'm not putting a lot of water in these when I'm mixing them up, right? Okay. So, what are we seeing? Tell me what this is.
It's an intensity chart.
Which says what? What
Can
are
you
we doing?
rephrase?
Huh?
Rephrase.
Finding the shades and the tints?
Not in this one. This is the shades and the tints over here.
Yeah, the blue and white one's the one
But the,
I'm
no, we're talking about the intensity
Oh,
chart.
sorry.
Talking about this one. We have red and we have green. What are we doing to those two colors?
Using the complementary, those the complementary.
To do what?
To change
Change
the intensity.
the intensity to make it less bright, okay, until you get to a neutral. And here we're changing, as you said, the value by adding black, or by adding water or white paint. I would probably, if I were doing this in a real situation, I would do it more with water than with paint. Because paint kind of makes the color a little, I like to use the word contaminated, but you lose that freshness of the transparency of it. You would,
Yeah, it's more dull than the.
yeah, it's
other
a
ones.
duller. Here you still have the, okay. Any questions?